Well, hello there, quarantine students. Let's talk about your EN 100 assignment, your show don't tell assignment. I'm going to then talk to you about descriptive writing and kind of the why and the how of descriptive writing. So, of course, you're going to be writing a story for me, literacy narrative is stories. You're going to be writing a story about something that you learned in a process. But let me share my screen real fast of the assignment. The assignment this week, so the literacy narrative is next week. It's the big essay that your first major essay that you'll be interacting with. But right now, the assignment that you're currently working on is in roughly 150 words, you need to describe a food you just ate. So pick a food and eat it. You need to be sure to include all the gritty details. Think about the food's texture, its smell, etc. Does the food exploit your senses? And what figurative associations can you make? You need to avoid using cliches, refrain from using words in the word bank below, and remember, you do not want to come up right out and say the name of the food you are describing. Keep it a mystery, and here's all the words you're not allowed to use. So you need to describe a mystery food for me, and through your description, I should be able to guess what it is. So figurative language would probably be the main thing that you need to do in order to help you accomplish this particular assignment. And let's talk about figurative language. It's a part of this descriptive writing lesson that I am about to walk you through. So let's go ahead and share my screen again. So descriptive writing, the why and the how. So why descriptive writing? Describing your subject to a reader through sensory details can help with the reader in your place and experience in the subject as you did. So it's important for the reader to see what the subject looked like, hear the sounds that you heard, smells the smells, etc. You know, you kind of get the hit. Any experience, any sense that you experience that is relevant, they need to be able to interact with. And the keynote is relevant because not all senses are relevant, just the ones that are key to helping put the reader in that experience. So make sure you use all the relevant senses in order to give your reader a complete understanding of the scene, because you can't overwhelm the reader with senses. Why? Words tend to represent a broad group of things. That's why we need descriptive language. This sometimes can lead to a disconnect between the words we use and the things we mean. Here, I'll show you. Think of a cat. Right now, I just want you to imagine a cat. Got it in your head? Was this the cat you imagined? Probably not. You could have imagined a cat that was black or white, kitten or adult, short-haired, long-haired. The reason why was because I didn't provide you with a detailed enough description. Descriptive writing helps give the reader a fuller picture and a clearer idea of what that you are trying to communicate. Now let's talk about figurative language. One of the best ways to help you be more specific is figurative language. There are a variety of techniques that use figurative language: metaphors, similes, personification, anthropomorphism, etc. Anthropomorphism is giving human-like qualities to animals. Personification is giving human-like qualities to inanimate objects. So what these techniques have in common is that they are all comparing different things. The comparison is the key. People respond well to comparisons to familiar things by taking something vague or unfamiliar and comparing it to something that the reader understands, allows them to think or see what you are describing from a more familiar perspective. Figurative language also allows you to convey specific details by referring to familiar things. Instead of having to string together the right combination of adjectives to get the reader to the right color, smell, texture, you get the drift, you immediately place it in the forefront of their minds with a figurative comparison. So here's some examples. Mountain Dew green. As soon as I say that, a specific type of green pops into your head. Right now, I have a book cover that I'm looking at to the side here, and its colors are actually more of like a John Deere green and yellow. Voila. I was able to put that in your head without showing you the book. Felt like sandpaper. Smelt like the boys' locker room. Nails against the chalkboard. Tastes like lighter fluid. All those cut through all the descriptions you could have to use and get straight to the point and puts it immediately in the reader's mind. Now, figurative language often is referred to as show, don't tell techniques because the writer is showing the reader something rather than telling them. In this case, the thing you are comparing your subject is more effective and engaging way to get your reader to process the information. Just make sure the comparison you are making are specific and appropriate to the context and tone, and something your audience will be widely familiar with. So if I could say that that person over there looks like Bobby, you'll have no idea who Bobby is. But if I say that person over there looks like Santa Claus, all of a sudden that's a familiar comparison and it makes more sense to you. Now let's come to cliches. Cliches are phrases that are overused and have lost their specific meaning, either due to the overuse or the loss of the thing that they're referring to. Examples are as cold as ice. People don't really consider like how ice feels cold. They just hear that and they think very cold. Sky blue. People don't think of the specific sky, the color of the sky blue, but they just think a really light blue. High as a kite, pitch black, jet black, thinking outside the box, fast as lightning. No one actually stops and thinks about that comparison. They just real quickly just go to a vague comparison and it's not specific. And to keep in mind, the point of descriptive writing is to be specific. So show don't tell technique descriptions, they help the writers avoid cliches and they help the writers make their writing more specific and more clear. All right, so that is descriptive writing. Once again, your assignment involving descriptive writing is in roughly 150 words, describe a food you just ate. Be sure to include all the gritty details. Think about the food's texture, smell, etc. How does the food exploit your senses? Exploit the senses, address all the senses that you can. What figurative associations can you make? That right there, what figurative associations can you make is the make or break for this particular assignment. Avoid using cliches and you refrain from using any of the words in the word bank below. Remember, do not come right out and say the name of the food you're describing. Keep it a mystery. All right, that's all I got for you today. If you have any questions, please email me, pdavidson@forgeal.k12.mo.us, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.